no dogs allowed. One day, John and his best friend were walking along a path. Now, John's best friend was Spot. John's best friend was a dog. They were walking along a path, and this path was long and it stretched ahead, and all that John could see was a tree off in the distance. But he could hear thunder rumbling, and it didn't sound like it was in the distance at all. Pretty soon, John felt splat, 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 big fat raindrops, and he saw those thunderclouds getting closer, and pretty soon he heard crack, lightning, and skies opened up and it started pouring. Well, John and Spot raced to the only shelter they could see, that tree. John and Spot didn't know that that was a bad idea. And they were taking shelter under that tall tree, and the wind was whipping the branches, and the rain was falling down, and lightning was cracking. A lightning cracked right in the tree and killed John and Spot instantly. In fact, it killed them so quickly that they didn't even realize they were dead. And when it stopped raining, they just got up and kept on walking. But after a while, they started realizing that things weren't quite normal. For one, John knew this path really well, and they'd been walking for a long time, and he hadn't gotten back home. In fact, there was nothing around. In fact, they were starting to get really tired and thirsty and hungry. And then they came to a hill. Now, John didn't remember seeing this hill before, but he climbed the hill, and there in the valley, at the bottom of the hill, was a city. And John had definitely never seen that city before, because it was a city made entirely out of gold. There was a great golden wall that surrounded it, and there was a rainbow from one end to the other, and there were these great big beautiful pearly gates at the entrance, and they were open, and from the inside of the city was the most heavenly music. "Well," said John, "where there's a city, there's people. And where there's people, there's food. Let's go, Spot." And they walked, and pretty quickly they arrived at the city. And right there, at those pearly gates, was an old man with a long white beard, wearing white robes and this funny little golden circle around his head. And he seemed to be shining. And he opened up his arms with a great big smile and said, "John, we've been waiting for you. Come on in. The banquet is served." "Banquet?" said John. "Oh, I like that. Now, how do you know me? And what do you mean you were waiting for me? You don't know me. I've never seen you before in my life." "We've been waiting for you, John, because you're a good man. You're loyal and you're kind, and you treat everyone with respect, and that is why we have a place for you here at the table." John just stared. This looked... "What? Don't you recognize this?" said the old man. "You're in heaven." "But if I'm in heaven, that means I'm dead," said John. "Oh," he said. "Spot, we're dead. We're dead. Oh well, the food looks good. Yeah, what can we do about it? Let's go, Spot." And they started right in. But then the old man said, "I'm very sorry, John, but dogs don't go to heaven." "What? What do you mean dogs don't go to heaven? Of course they go to heaven. There was even a movie made about it. And besides, you said there was a place for me at the table because I was a good person. Well, this dog is a better person than I am. He definitely needs it. Aren't you, Spot? You're a good Spot. Come on. Yeah, sorry, but he's coming with me. I ain't going nowhere without my friend." And he tried to push past the old man, but the old man said, "No, I am very, very sorry, John, but I must insist. Heaven is only for people who have souls. For humans. Dogs don't have souls. They don't go to heaven." "That's ridiculous. What do you mean dogs? Look at him. Look at those puppy dog eyes. Isn't he cute? Come on, say hi. Give him your paw." "No." "Oh, come on. He's just a little dog. Look, I'll just hide him under my... Nobody's going to notice. Okay, You're St. Peter, right? I thought you were. Oh, okay, how much money do you want? How much? I don't have a lot, but I'll give it all to you. Come on. We don't take bribes in heaven. Oh, fine. All right, let me talk to your boss. Let me talk to the head man, right? God, I'll go talk to God, and God is going to say, I know that once God sees this cute little puppy dog, no. Well, John begged and pleaded, and finally he got frustrated. He even started cussing. He started cussing and screaming and kicking things, and still nothing. And finally he realized, well, if you don't want my dog, then I don't want your heaven or anything. Come on, Spot, we're going to hell. And he marched off, and Spot followed along. And they walked. They walked fast because they were angry. They were upset. But it was a long way. And pretty soon, they realized how tired and hungry and thirsty they were. And the road just stretched out ahead and ahead. And the sun was starting to go down. By now, the golden city with the music and the rainbow was far, far gone. And up ahead, they could see a tree. Kind of similar to the tree where they'd gone for the storm, but it was much bigger, and the leaves were lush and extended all over the place. And John and Spot said, well, at least there's some shade. And as they got closer, they heard a babbling brook. Oh, at least there's some water. And getting excited, they started going quicker. At least there's... Oh. There was a man lying under the tree with his hat over his face. I'll bet that man is the owner of the tree, and if he's anything like St. Peter, the people in these lands don't seem too friendly. I don't know what we're going to do. And so they decided to keep going, but as they walked away, the man heard their footsteps and jumped up, taking his hat off his face, and said, why, welcome, travelers. You look tired, you look thirsty, you look hungry. Join me. I have all this food, and I can't possibly eat it all by myself. Food? Said John. Ruff, said Spot. And suddenly they saw, they hadn't noticed this. How had they not noticed this? There was the great big picnic blanket with red and white checkers, and on that picnic blanket was ice cold lemonade, and there were sandwiches, and there were hard-boiled eggs, and there was even a plate of dog food. What do you know? And there was a big pile of brownies. There was all of John's favorite foods, and there was even some steak just for Spot. Not just dog food. Real juicy meat. Well, John really wanted to go, but he said, but what about my dog? Why, of course. Don't you see the food here? There is room here for everyone who has a good heart. Come on, join me. All right. And John and Spot went in, and they sat down on the picnic blanket, and they ate to their heart's content. And then after Spot was full, he started chasing butterflies and running around. And John kept on talking with the man with the hat, who was very interesting and seemed quite wise, as if he had lived for a very long time. And over time, more people showed up, with their dogs and their cats and their goldfish and even a pet kangaroo. What was they do? But anyway, and magically there always seemed to be enough food on the picnic blanket for everybody. Ah, said John, leaning back and hearing the wind rustle through the trees and the babbling brook that he had drunk from and felt so refreshed. This feels like heaven. What do you know? The man with the hat just laughed. Of course it does, John, he said. This is heaven. What? No, we just left heaven back there. Oh, said the man with the hat. You mean the golden city with the rainbow and the pearly gates and stuff? Yeah, that was heaven. No. That was hell. What? No! I looked in through those gates, and I saw people with wings and stuff, and they had these little circles around their head, and there was glass streets, and there was all this. Yes, that was just an illusion. As soon as you cross that gate, once you step inside, there's no coming back out. All of that disappears, and it's lakes of flames, and you're gonna be burning there for a long time. Oh no, said John. So you mean, but that's not fair. That St. Peter, That's not St. Peter, that's the devil, of course. He's just disguised. So he's tricking people. He's tricking people to go into hell by mistake. They think it's heaven, and they go, oh no, we need to go warn people. That's not good. Don't worry about it, said the man with the hat. It's all right. It's just as it should be. Because you see, the only people who go inside that city are the kind of people who would be willing to leave their friends behind.